So hello guys, I am Barakel Badua and I am a student of University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines. Um, we're given a task on uh, uh, how to create a program using structure type, user-defined data type, which is structure. So we're given a task on here. I'm gonna read it. So pay attention. So create a simple class record program using data type given below. So you may add more fields as necessary. The program should be able to accept a minimum of 5 student records. So the program allows the user to do any of the following tasks below. So this is the tasks below that we're going to add in our program. Later on, I'm going to explain what are those tasks. So allow also the user to repeat or do several tasks. The program should be able to use both structure variable and structure pointer to reference the structure fields. And start of a program execution, load all existing student records from the text files. And before the program ends, store the text file and all existing updated student records. So before I'm going to start explaining my program, let me first explain to you what is a structure. So according to our book, that a structure is a user-defined data type in C language which allows us to combine data of different types together. So structure helps us to construct a complex data type which is more meaningful. So it is somewhat similar to an array, but an array holds data of similar type only. So before I'm going to start explaining all of this program, which had a 448 lines, not including spaces, but it's very long. So let me first run my program, and remember, if we start our program, please create a text file before you're going to run the what we call this our source code. So I already created my uh, student record file, which is I also defined here my file pointer, which is student record. I'm sorry. So um, yeah, shall we start? I'm gonna run this program, and we're given the task that we're going to select. So before we're going to start choosing this, all of this, um, um, let's start with adding some students, and we're required to add 5 students, which we use it here. So let's add a student. So let's select 1. So enter ID. So 2018 1. So let's give him a last name of um, Harley. First name of Harley. Then we will give her a score of 10 over 10 in the first quiz, 7 over 10 in the second quiz, and lastly the third quiz is let's make it perfect, 10 over 10. So we're gonna add more students. So let's add 2018 2. So enter last name. So we will give it the last name as um, ha, ha, Havis. First name is Kalex, Keller. Um, let's give her, maybe this is a girl, so let's give her a score of 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, and lastly 3 out of 10. So we already have 2 students. So we still have to create a 3-student record. We're going to register 3 students in our student record, class record. So let's have the choice. 2018 3. Last name is Lila, and first name is Leslie. I don't know. So 5. Let's make him 6 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and 4 out of 10. So let's add. There are still 2 remaining students. So 2018 4. Yeah, 2018 4, and last name is um, Nurch Herch. So first score is 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 9 out of 10. So let's have one more student. So let's have 2018 5. So last name would be Hey, so Heckley. Let's make it as male as Mark. So let's give him a score of 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. So there you have it. We already have 5 students in our class record menu. So let's first use this all of this function that we have created in our source code. So let's try to. So let's try to edit 2018 1, our first student that we have inputted in our program. So there we have it, Harley. So she has a score of 10, 10, 7, 10, 10, 10, which has a final grade of 1.36. So are we going to edit it? Yes, we're going to edit her record or her name. So let's try. So are we going to edit her ID? Maybe not. Are we going to edit her last name? Let's interchange Harley as first name and Harley as last name. So Harley, let's try this. Harley, and let's make the scores the same. Except for this second score, we'll make it as 5 out of 10. And lastly, 10 out of 10. So there you have it. We already edited Harley's record. So let's try to display the what our record, all student. Okay, let's type 4. So there we have it. We already edited Harley, which has a score of 10 out of 10, 1 out of 10 out of 10, which has a grade of 1.00, 5 out of 10, which has a grade of 3.00, and lastly 10 out of 10, which has a grade of 1.00. So we're gonna enter to continue so that we can see other records of our inputted students. So there you have it, Hafiz Chaler. Yeah, you can read it, all the scores. The F grade is still not displayed here. Liza Leslie, he has a failing grade about the third quiz. Lastly, now Narch Hirsch, which is all inputted grades, and Hackley Mark, so 9.00. Yeah, he's good. So let's try to delete a student record. Are we going to try it? So ID number, we're going to delete the fourth student that we have created. 2018 4. So who is that? Narch Hirsch. Yeah, we're going to delete this because I don't like he's already dropped out in our school, and his record are already useless, so we're going to delete this one. So we're going to type Y so that this record will be automatically deleted. So there you have it. So if we display again all the records of our student class record menu, we have 2018 1, 2018 2, which is Hafiz Chaler, 2018 3, which is Liza Leslie, and lastly 2018 5, which is Heckley Mark. So we had a missing student, which we already deleted it. So there you have it. We already have a successful program in this one. So if we try to display all the F grades of the student, okay, we're going to display all the F grades of our student. So let's choose 6. So Harley Hurley has the final grade of 1.60. Um, Havis Taylor has the final grade of 3.00. Lila Leslie has the final grade of 2.64. And lastly, oh no, Hackley Mark, which has a grade of 1.40. There you have it. We already had successfully working program, which is the number 6 in the choices. So if we're going to try, we already tried um, our program from 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and we still didn't try this one, which is store student record to a text file. So if we click this, if we input 5 in the selection, so all the student record or the class record that we have inputted in our program will be stored at the text file that we have created that I've shown you earlier. Okay, so I'm going to input 5, enter. So there you have it. We have 4 students that are safely filed. They are already stored at the text file. So I'm going to enter to exit this program. So file, executable file. So I'm gonna watch the student record. Yeah, as you can see, we have Harley Hurley. ID number is 2018. I'm gonna full screen it. Yeah, as you can see, we have a successful program. Yeah, Hackley Mark was already here too. Liza Leslie as the final grade already displayed at our student record. Harley Hurley rather, and Havis Taylor. Yeah, that's a nice name by the way. Um, so these are the data that we are um, um, uh, yeah, that we have inputted in our program. So I'm gonna explain to you my program. So I use the stdio.h, stdlive.h, string.h, and I define the file pointer as fpw, which is I already name it as student record.text, and also define fname as student record.text. So struct student, um, I already so structure student. So I assign some of the variables here. So as you can see, int id, char last, this is last name, first name, scores, which has a 3 scores, and double grades, which has also a 3 grades of different scores, and float total, which has 3 totals from different scores. And we double the F grades and struct student. We also use this one to call the student as to point to next. Okay, so you're gonna see why I use this one. So I also use this type def. If you still don't know what is type def, so type def is a keyword used in C language to assign alternative names to existing data types. So it's mostly used with user-defined data types when names of the data type become slightly complicated to use in programs. So that's why I use this type def. As you can see that my program is slightly complicated right now. Type def is really complicated to use, but you're gonna practice this one and you can learn with this. So I use this void add. I call it as add. I call it display all flash tdin view edit view del fgrade view edit del, and I call it as pstudent ps. So we're going to ant menu. This is basic, so you can learn with it. So I put all the choices here, and I scanf selection. So you can also transfer this one in the top if you want. Not that one, not, yeah, but here, and also put that one. But you can also do that one. Yeah, we're going to erase this. So we're going to scan it. So so the inputted choices will be read. Okay, so we assign in C. In C is equal to get char. So we're going to get the character of the inputted. So um, if the user inputted wrong choice, so um, um, it will automatically return to the selection choices. Okay, so here's the int main rather. So we assign this int as choice and read num. Here, as you can see, yeah, we already have created this one. And also I use this one case one instead of creating some of this because I already called it here as void. Yeah, already created as void display flash this one, except for these three. I don't put that here in the choices because there are some of supporting functions or data type. Yeah, supporting data types in our void functions. So where are we at? Okay, here we have case one, which is add. As you can see, we have add, void add. So view edit, we also had that one at the top. View del, display all, and upgrade, and also the lastly the case 7, which is if he or she wants to exit the program. So too much to explain that thing. So let's go to this flash stdin. So this one will its function it is useful because this one its job is to what we call this gonna get the inputted character in our program, all the inputted character. So void add pstudent ptmt, yeah, we already have it here at the top. We already called it because if you don't call it, then it will have an issue of compiler errors and runtime errors. So um, okay, you already know this one. So we make id as 0 because we're starting from 0 to beyond. Print id add record, print id flash stdin because we are getting the inputted character from the keyboard of the user. So if PID is equal to ID, else um, so if the ID is already created, so this will be posted in our program, which is the IDs already exist. So the ID is not available anymore. So if the PID is equal to pointer ID, so we're going to create ID because we're going to create a new student record because the ID of the inputted um, of the user is not exist yet. So int I, printf at their last name, flash stdin, we're going to use it because we're going to get the character inputted. First name, yeah, and we use for loop because we had a 3 score. We set I is equal to 0. We initialize it, and we use I is less than 3. And and we increment it. So here's the function below. So enter percent the score. So we also I plus 1 here because um, we assume it as first student. Yeah. So PS scores, I slash the n. It's very important to use it. So this is the formula of grade what do you call this getting the final grade. So as you can see in our um, 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 task given, we also given the formula on how to get the final grade. Um, so the 20% quiz grade, 30% of project grade, and 50% of long exam. Sorry, I forgot to explain that the first score is from the the quiz grade. The second score is from project grade, and the third score is from long exam grade. So sorry if I missed to explain that one. So let's go back here. So as you can see, 20% 0.20 times plus 0.30 of grades 1, 0, 2, because we have 3 grades per three grades because we also have 3 scores from different tasks of a student given. So here there's no need to explain on this one. So we have display all. So this function is all about displaying all the student records that we inputted in our program. So um, this one we um, we we assign I as integer type. So we use while p is not equal to null, then puts this one. So this is the function to display all of our what we call this in our display all this functions in our when this program is already run. So yeah, this is simple. Let's go to complicated one. So if the student um, what we call this input yes on the edit, as you see at the running as we run the program, I inputted yes. So we set 0 at the yes and id is equal to 0. So enter the id number to view edit. So um, so at first we inputted the id. So we scan the id, and if the id exists, then this will be what we call this um, um, will be displayed. Okay. So next, if the id does not exist, then else printf student with id number dot found. So void view, this is the function that if you want to view the student record, um, yeah, this is also part of display view, display all the student records. This is what I call the supporting void data type of the void display all. Yeah, this one. I will show you this one. This is the supporting one. This one. So the next one is the view edit. He has also a supporting void, which is the void edit when the user inputted yes and the ID exists, then this one will be what we call this displayed on the screen. If he wants to edit the last name, then the last name that he edited will be stored automatically at our program. So this one, yeah, already know about it. So the user also can change the scores that the user inputted recently. So 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 let's have look at the delete. Sorry, let's look at delete void. So if the student say yes, So this is what the program will run. If it is no, then this one. I mean, if he inputted no, then the program will run again from the different selection, from the first selection rather, in the program. So if he inputted yes, so if the ID does not exist, then else printf this one. But the ID exists, then the user will be given a selection if he wants to delete the student record from the given ID. So if he wants to delete the student record, so this is the function, the supporting function of void del, which we call it here as pstudent. As you can see here, pstudent. We also phead equals to null. Yeah. So let's go back to the bottom of our program. So this one, the delete. So if ps is equal to phead and phead is equal to ps pointing to the next, this one, you can see already at top. So freeze is ps, yeah, return p is equal to phead pp, while p is not equal to ps, then pp is equal to p is equal to p pointing next. So pp is equal to next, ps is what it is pointing to next again, so freeze ps, so num students, void delete all. So p students is equal to p head, p student p next, while p is null, then this one. So delete all if you want to delete all. Yeah. So f grade. So the final grade, if the user wants to display the final grade, so it's simple. You just use the p is equal to null, then printf no records available. If the point if the program cannot find any existing records, but if we can find it, then this will be displayed all the student records. Just need to enter because we already used this one, as you can see, right? Next. Yeah. So this is the function, so that the supporting functions. Okay, this one, write file, which is also useful to save it in our notepad. So if you want to save it at notepad, so use this one. Also if you want to read it in the file, so use this one. So there are many tutorial videos on how to use this one, so you can watch it directly from there. And good luck. So I'm Barak Albadua, and thanks for watching my tutorial video. Thank you and God bless.